Okay, so here's our next example, which is going to be a little more relevant for operations. Generally in operations, what we're going to want to do is compare the processes, compare different processes to find out which is the best way to do it. And what we're going to do for that is we are going to use break even to do that. For both processes, we need to take into consideration the costs. That's primarily what we're going to be looking at here, is the costs. Break even is the place where both processes are going to have an equivalent cost. And usually below that, one process will be more economical and preferable, and above that, the other process, usually in a direct comparison. So rather simplistically, we'll take this and we will look at now the fixed costs to buy are going to be, oh, by the way, this is example A3 on page 32. So the fixed costs to buy are going to be $2,400. And the fixed costs to make, as you would imagine, are significantly more at $12,000. Now, for each unit, we have variable costs. So the variable costs to buy are going to be a $2 per salad. Again, this is the salad example on page 32, example A3. And the costs to make are cheaper, as one might imagine, at $1.50 a salad. So where do we want to find this crossover point now? We do some simple math here. So the crossover point is going to be the fixed costs of one process, which I'm going to follow the book, so it's going to be the make costs minus the fixed costs to buy divided by the variable cost difference, which is the cost to buy minus the cost to make. And really, because this value is a quantity, we can we just do this math so the number works out correctly. So what we're looking at here is we're going to look at $12,000 minus our $2,400, and we're going to divide that by our $2 minus our $1.50, and we are going to end up with $19,200, which is roughly right here on our graph. So 19,200. So what we can analyze from this, and this is where our operations come in, is we would have somewhere a sales guy, and he would predict how much volume we were going to sell. And I believe in this example they predict 25,000, if I'm not mistaken. So we will analyze from the 25,000 mark, and we will look at it. And really how this is going to work is you want to pick the lower line. So above here, the red line is lower, which is make, and the blue line, which is buy. So at 25,000, we would want to make it. If our anticipated sales were down here around 10,000, of course, it would be more preferable to buy the salads. And really, that's what it comes down to in analyzing which process is better, and that's how it's relevant for operations management.